What's up everybody, Dan here. So today I'm going to be talking about road cycling and saving money. So I've been riding for over 15 years. I've been on various race teams. I've done a ton of charity events and I've just ridden with friends and it is a blast. I love riding, but don't get me wrong, it can be expensive. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about ways that you can save money while you're on the road and alternatives and stuff for when you're cycling and when you're racing, because it's expensive and let's find some ways to save some money. I'm just going to be talking about a few things that I've done in my personal experience to save some cash while I'm riding, and it's been really rewarding and satisfying. So in this slide here, I just talk about everyday kind of numbers that you're gonna see if you're into charity rides or racing. These aren't fees that you would see, you know, if you're just riding by yourself and just getting out and having fun. This is if you want to do like any sort of group activity. And so here's the breakdown. If you're into racing, you've got to figure there's about at least 4 or 5 good races in your area, depending on where you're at. And that'll run you about 35 bucks. There's crit races, so those are smaller but more frequent, and those themselves are about 35 bucks. And then of course, if you're really into racing, there's this awesome big day multi events, and those can be about 200 bucks plus lodging. And then if you're not so much into racing but want to do charity rides, there's, you know, depending on where you're at, there's probably at least 3 or 4 in your area that you can drive to or whatever, and those will run you about 200 bucks. And you know, of course, then there's all the fun gear and stuff that comes with it, and you know, you can buy jerseys, bibs, all that good stuff, and that'll probably run you about $1.50 or so. And then so if you do decide to race, more likely than not, you gotta want to join a club. You know, clubs are a good way to just ride with people, especially that are more experienced and are stronger riders than you are. And it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost you anywhere between, you know, $300 a year or so, or more or less, depending on where you're at. You got to think too about racing gear. If you want to join and look like the part, you know, that requires a new jersey, a new bib, and you're looking at least $500 for the brand new items. So as you can see here, check this out. If you are just racing, including gear, including all that stuff, you're probably spending $1,800 on the low end, maybe a little bit higher. And then if you're doing charity rides, if you're going often, and that's the maximum number that I've used, so about $1,000, you figure you go to every charity ride there is. Of course, if you're just doing 1 or 2, you know, you're only talking a couple $100. But as you can see, it adds up. Next, I'm going to talk about 3 different areas that you can save some money in, and so this is where it's going to really add up. So let's check it out. So this is just the fact of riding, right? You're going to get hungry, you're on the bike, you're burning a lot of calories, and you just need food. So here's just a quick example of something that you want to just throw in the back of your jersey. So you would never think anything of this, right? Let me just grab a bar, ride, rinse, repeat. So if you add this up, so check this out. If you just instead went to a place that sells by the bulk bin, you could just make your own bars, and you know, for a few simple ingredients, and you've got yourself some homemade snacks. So if you do this bulk bin process and you just buy it in bulk, and this is equivalent to about $360 worth of savings, and that's just for one little snack. Also too, check this out. Here's another thing. So every time I'm riding and racing, I see people with goos. I see the guys just punch those things back and you know, get that quick energy. So I mean, has anybody ever looked at the ingredients of those things? That is just pure sugar. So I put 200 days in the season, so obviously this could be less or more. This is just an average. But so you're saving, you're spending about $257. So now also to think about it when you're racing. So I remember I would go out on these big long events, big rides, and you know, just want to have the most energy and whatnot. So I would pop 2 or 3 of these in just like one day. So I mean, check this out. If I just bought a banana, which cost me, 30 cents a pound at the grocery store? So I mean, nothing. And so I did this funny calculation here. So if you ate a banana for 200 days straight, and each banana costs you 30 cents. That's only $60 in bananas. I mean, this is bananas here. Looking at this, very common is what you're going to see is that, oh, you got to have the latest supplement. Oh, you got to make sure to eat some protein afterwards. This is really, really, really just adds up. So if you get any sort of hydration system drink, or if you get any sort of protein powder, definitely buy by a bulk. Don't buy your individual containers. I mean, because you're paying twice as much, if not more, in cost. I mean, especially if this is an activity that you're going to be doing all the time. Also too, I never trust the scoops. Maybe that's just me, but so what I do is I'll just scoop half of whatever they say, maybe a 3/4. So at least, you know, I'm doubling the amount of material or whatever I'm going to be eating. So if something costs me $24, well, now it only costs me $12, right? If I'm only eating half of what they say and what the requirements are. I know it sounds gross, but pickle juice is what's up. So I mean, if you look in the back of that container, that is just straight up sodium. And you know what can't be better than after a hard ride if you can just chug a little bit of that and then eat a pickle or two, you know, because A, you're getting your sodium, your electrolytes back, and then B, you're getting a little bit of food, so you can't go wrong. I just did this little calculation too, going back to buying in bulk. So if you buy about a pound of protein, that's going to cost you 20 bucks. Say you go to Costco, they're selling the 5.6 pounds for $58. So I mean, even if you bought 3 pounds, say, so you're basically getting 2.6 pounds for free. I mean, that is the way to go. Get this thing in bulk and save yourself a lot of money in the long run, because you know you're working hard, especially if you're racing. So you want to make sure you're sleeping well, recovering well. So I mean, protein is very important. So you know, make sure to just shop around. It's well worth it. Look around online. Do what you can. All right, so next I want to shift our focus into gear tips. And so this one really definitely helps too if you're talking about clubs or racing groups, just organizations that you want to join to, you know, to get better connected and to ride with stronger riders, ride with more people. So definitely do your homework on the club itself. And if you can find a club that, for one, definitely helps out with like riding and racing. So, you know, because a lot of times these clubs are getting, you know, free marketing from you guys, or advertising, or they have vendors that they're working with. So if you can promote them, that's better for them. That's better for everybody. So a lot of times too, some groups will say, hey, thanks for riding this event. You know, we're going to pay 10%, 20%, whatever. I mean, that's awesome. Some groups, not so much. Also too, it's really good just to communicate, interact with their club, meet new people. But then you can also ask, hey, anybody got an extra jersey or a bib? Like, I want to be a part of the team. You know, a new jersey or bib will run you $400 new plus tax versus getting some from a local guy or a girl that, you know, that could be like 50 bucks. So just a great way to save some cash. And then what's really nice is you get to kind of expand your cycling group, right? So you can borrow some wheels, maybe borrow some parts, and you can return the favor too. Like, say, you know, kind of a collaborative effort. And also, too, what I would totally recommend, and this is not just for clubs, because you'll get access to, you know, some really good gear when you join a club. That is one of the great perks, you know, because a lot of people like to buy stuff, you'll find out in the cycling world, and a lot of people like to buy the new stuff. So you can get old stuff for real cheap. So I highly recommend anything related to like wheels, handlebars, you know, just seats, anything along those lines that you can get used, do it. For a set of wheels new, if you go carbon fiber, you're talking $2,500 easy. Versus a used set, you maybe get it for $1,000, you know, if you know the guy, maybe even less. So same thing goes with new bikes as well. I mean, a lot of people are getting the latest and greatest, and you could save yourself literally thousands. So it is very worth it to join these groups and get in with a team. And lastly, so this is geared towards more of the events and races. Big thing to watch out for is sign up early. If you know you're racing, if you know you're riding in this event, just bite the bullet and sign up. It might seem like a lot, at that time or whatever, or just know that they're going to be doubling the price, if not tripling it, by the time you say, oh yeah, I don't know, okay, yeah, I guess I'm going to go. I mean, that reaction, that delay probably cost you $100 easy. So if you know you're going to ride it, if you got friends that you're going to ride, definitely do it and reach out early. Reach out to your friends, get a group going, get everybody in, and definitely do it. Another thing too, so if you're into racing or just wanted to do like a charity event, check out the volunteer aspect. So a lot of these organizations, they rely on just people volunteering, setting up courses, just monitoring things, making sure everybody's okay. Definitely reach out to the organization. You can go online, you can go to you can contact them directly. Usually any host will have some means to contact them. Why not reach out, offer your services, and chances are you might even be able to ride for free. You might be able to race for free, and you get to help out, and you get to build that relationship with the volunteer coordinator, and help out in the future. It could be a good relationship. Also too, if you're going to events or races, this is where being in a group helps, or just having friends to ride with, because you can totally carpool. I mean, where I'm from, an average event is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And I mean, that's no fun by myself. So get a friend, ride with them, split the gas, and make it fun. Same with traveling, right? So if I'm traveling or whatever, split a hotel room that most of the time splits dinner, whatever. So, just any ways to save some money while traveling, just because it all adds up. So yeah, as you can see, racing is a little expensive, but it is so worth it. It's a lot of fun. It's just a great hobby to have. So these are just a few things that I've used to help, kind of watch my budgets a little bit when I'm racing, because if I'm not careful, this stuff adds up, especially now, say after an event or something, you go out to eat, you do a bunch of stuff, and before you know it, it's just more costs. So these are just a few things that I've done just to, save myself a little bit of cash. So if you enjoyed this, if you learned a little bit, so please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and a like. It'll really help the algorithms in YouTube to help this channel out. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.